very specific questions about feed, and we move into bull buying season. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Erhardt. A big thank you goes out to our partners, the Green Acres Foundation, Wassum Red Angus, the Bred for Balance sale from Clear Springs Cattle Company, Schnabel Ranch Simmentals, Keller Broken Heart Ranch, Farmatan and Imogene Ingredients, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange and the Fence Post, Westway Feed Products, Allied Genetic Resources, Livestock Market, Equine Market, and AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, the Cowboy Channel, and Wrangler. We have got some very, very, very specific information that we need to go over today. You've been asking some very specific questions. We're just going to dive right into this. Many of you have been asking about Farmatan, and that raises more and more curiosity amongst you, and rightfully so. Now, let's have healthy live calves at birth, and not just calves that survive, but we need calves that thrive, right? Let's reduce scours. Let's just get it out of there. Let's get rid of cryptosporidium. Get rid of this stuff. This is where Farmatan comes in. We've been talking about it the past few years. We've talked about it a lot, but the question everybody wants to know is, does it work? And they want to hear from other producers that are using it, and how it works, and what their situation was that led them to using said products. Well, I am happy to start this conversation. Eureka, South Dakota is my first stop. Tom Schnabel of Schnabel Ranch Simmentals. Tom, thanks so much for being on the program today. I know you're traveling as we speak. Now, I think it's best for me just to pass the microphone your direction and let you share your experience with Farmatan.
Our nutritionist brought it to us about 3 years ago, I believe it was. He approached us with it about this new product, if we wanted to give it a try. He's been seeing some good results on it, so we gave it a try, and we got it mixed in with we mixed it with our mineral right in the TMR ration, and we force feed it through all the cows for about we tried the bred heifers, we try to get it into them for close to 90 days prior to calving, and the cows we try to do right at 60 days prior to calving.
So you're talking that probably works the best, right? Kind of a minimum of 60 per se, kind of give or take. I mean, it at least kind of sets those girls up for success, right?
Yep. We just we try to get it started at least 60 days prior, and then we feed it all the way throughout the entire year of through the spring of calving and stuff, because those cows are always taking and coming up with different weather events that they deal with, and mud and everything else. So we just keep it in the TMR ration that they get it force fed to them every day for a consistent basis out until about May, when everybody's about done calving at least.
All right, it's been 3 years, Tom. Has Farmatan made a difference?
Yeah, it's definitely made a huge impact. I mean, we would see some coccidia problems in our first calf heifers occasionally on those calves, because the colostrum just doesn't have the immunity built up in it, being their first time, and we would have a half dozen every year, and I don't know, since we've been using it, I don't know if we've had 2 cases in the last 3 years now on those heifers. Combination between the mineral program that we've been utilizing the last 6-8 years here, and the tannin is definitely has tightened up the calving windows. We do a mass AI on everything, on time breeding of our groups that we breed, and we've been running right around 66 to 68% conception rate on them first even replacement heifers and cows. We've really been getting good results with everything. Granted, it's an extra cost, but so is medication, and medication to treat calves or losing a calf is also an expense. And in this case, I think this expense outweighs what the other expenses possibly could be of a dead calf, or you having to use a lot of medication and setting that calf back on his health into the future. Just to throw numbers out, maybe you spend $4,000 on doing some extra feed stuffs and extra preventative, but that's literally, you're looking at trying to save 4 calves and not dealing with any medications. And you put all the medications into them, you just set that calf back. They're they're behind the 8 ball. They've got to get caught back up. They're not with their contemporary group and running the same way. We all know that those calves that we treat are always just a couple steps behind everybody else.
Thank you so much, Tom, for the comments and calling it how you see it. Now, Tom's joint production sale, where you can see for yourself how some of the calves have performed being with the Farmatan program, is Saturday, February 18th in Aberdeen, South Dakota, selling Simmental, Sim Angus, and Red Angus genetics. Head online to srsims.com for more information. Now we're going to head to Northwest Montana. 4 summers ago, Curtis Evlow ran into what he called nothing short of a wreck. The cow herd contracted some sort of a stomach virus, which resulted in excessive weight loss of the cows. Now, he got a hold of his professionals, his vets, his nutritionalists, consultants, etc., to get this problem under control. Lots of wormers and lots of products were pumped through those cows trying to diffuse the situation.
Because of that, the next year, the breed up was not that great. And so this is kind of terrible here, but that calving season, literally we had 50% calf crop, and they were not doing good. They had clostridial like crazy, clostridial diseases, like crazy. They had
Clostridial Yep.
Well, you get emotional, even just talking back about it right now, thinking back. And so I just happened to hear, you guys talking about Farmatan and the tannins and all of that of what, gut health and so on and so forth. And we got through that season. And then later that summer, I got a hold of Paul. Actually, I got with you and had you get me Paul's number. So got with Paul and we got on a program with the Farmatan. The next calving season, we had one calf get Scours, one. Ever since then, we've just continued to feed them Farmatan in their mineral continuously. We don't do anything fancy. We just buy the 50-pound bags, and I mix it at the rate that Paul set us on, and I just mix it straight with the salt without even having any mineral anymore. And that's what we've been doing. In fact, I've backed off completely on all the mineral, and I'm doing Redmond selenium salt and the Farmatan, and that's it.
And have you noticed any improvement in the breed back of those cows? Okay.
Yeah. So there's several things that you'll see different. What we noticed was their hair coat, their attitude. You know how a cow just has an attitude, a good attitude of like, yeah, I'm good. Their hair coat is good. They bounce back if they do have a little bit of a hard winter. Hardly any flies. I mean, just these are the benefits you'll see off of getting that gut balance back up.
And this was a game changer for you, wasn't it? When you were, because when you said you had and I know you're speaking lightly, but when you said you had a train wreck, and I remember talking to the Pauls and talking to you about it and trying to put all this together, you were literally, if I can say this, you were at wit's end. You were at where if you didn't get something figured out, the cows had to go, that this was financially, you did not know if this was something that you could recover from. So you were at the point saying, look, we got to try something. And lo and behold, you had no idea that you were going to get this type of success with Farmatan. And I'm sure you visiting with other people, what you found out is, boy, howdy, I tell you what, just about everybody is having great results when fed and used properly. So would you say that the Farmatan, the tannin, that is now definitely a part of your management strategy going forward?
Oh, yeah. If anybody wants to try something that will give results, get Farmatan in before calving season and just watch the change. I'm positive you will see a change in your calving.
Curtis Evlow and Tom Schnabel giving a few testimonies of how the tannin Farmatan has been working for them. It's best to get it into your cows 60 to 90 days prior to calving. We've been talking about that month in and month out. Now, I know that you have questions of where and how much. You just have more questions, period. I get it. You can get a hold of me anytime and I can help y'all. I can point you in the right direction. I can help you with this. I can get you in contact with the Pauls, right? I can try to get you in contact with Paul Mitchell and Paul Martin. You can call them directly if you would like at 515-745-1639, or I will certainly be a liaison between the two. Providing solutions to our problems, making your outfit more profitable. That is why we are here each and every week, week in and week out, no matter what is going on the Ranch It Up radio show. And by the way, Tom and Curtis have said that they will be more than happy to visit in depth about their programs of how they are feeding Farmatan, the ins and outs. So reach out at any time. Up next, the bull sale catalogs, well, they're coming in droves. They're starting to pile up. How to read them. I know a lot of us know how to, but let's make life a whole lot easier, shall we? Marty Ropp with Allied Genetic Resources stops in to talk bull buying decisions when we come back. Before you purchase your next set of bulls or females, remember this. The seed stock business is about genetic improvement and customer service. Allied Genetic Resources understands this as well as anyone. Marty Ropp with Allied.
That's our charge as seed stock producers is people look at us and you've got to make genetics that work better for us. We see that charge, we understand that charge, and we're going to use all the tools we can to get there.
Allied Genetic Resources, where the mission is commercial customer success. Period. The Keller Broken Heart Ranch invites you to come see high-performing Simmental and Sim Angus genetics Thursday, March 2nd, 1 p.m. at the ranch south of Mandan, North Dakota. Selling 120 of the industry's highest-performing and profitable Simmental and Sim Angus bulls with volume discounts, along with 80 outstanding replacement heifers. View the catalog and videos online at kbhrsimmental.com. Can't make the sale? No problem. We're broadcasting live at dvauction.com. It's valuable genetics worth waiting for, and we'll see you March 2nd, 1 p.m. Central Time at the Keller Broken Heart Ranch.
Every week we hear from one of our great partners with updates, info, schedules, reports, and everything in between when it comes to buying and selling livestock and hay online and private treaty. Livestockmarket.com. On Facebook, too.
Wassum Red Angus, one of the diamonds in the rough in the Red Angus business. Join us Thursday, February 16th at the Wick Sale Facility in Richardson, North Dakota. Catalogs online at wassumredangus.com and on Facebook, powerful, profitable, and practical Red Angus cattle. You know the way they should be. Welcome back, everyone. Bull sale season is here for those that are shopping for those spring yearlings. Well, I should say not just bull sale season, but breeding cattle season is here. So far, I've been hearing great confidence in what the future could potentially hold. And I think that comes from as we continue to make advancements in technology, personally. It's taking the guesswork out of genetic profiling and selection, not taking animal husbandry away. We need more of that, but allowing us to make decisions that are statistically more apt to push us in the direction that we want to go. This is a huge charge for the crew and the partners of Allied Genetic Resources. We promote a lot of Allied production sales here on the Ranch It Up radio show, and each year Allied members, they breed, develop, and market more than 6,000 bulls from Simmental, Sim Angus, Angus, Red Angus, Balancer, Simbra, Shorthorn, and Shorthorn Plus, just to name a few breeds and their genetic pools, from breeders across the country, Washington to Texas, the Dakotas to Mississippi and Alabama. Allied members have made it real easy to start the selection process no matter what the breeder or no matter what breed they raise. You don't have to sift through thousands upon thousands upon thousands, unless you're like me and you like doing that. Allied starts that process for you based on calving ease, based on terminal characteristics, and based on balanced genetic improvement, all right? Marty Ropp, great to have you back on the show to start out this bull buying season and our reports that we're going to get from Allied a lot going forward. So let's talk about these 3 designations that bulls have in the sale books and how we can use them as we start thumbing through that information from Allied Genetic Partners production sale catalogs.
It's all built around, I'll back up just one notch. It's all built around trying to simplify bull buying decisions and make them more effective. And so by sorting the bulls with large effect genes, sorting them using some of the EPD information as well, we really try to sort them into categories, and to where a producer comes in and says, this is what I'm looking for this bull to do. The easiest example of that is when somebody comes in and says, I would need a heifer bull. I want a bull to breed the heifers. Because that's a very tight kind of a definition. They got a calve easy, have light birth weight. I mean, that's a fairly simple thing. So the ACE definition, accredited calving knees, is bulls that are free from negative large effect genes for birth weight and have acceptable calving knees and birth weight EPDs to qualify. And therefore, they're the safest heifer bulls that you can buy. Because regardless of the females of the heifers you're going to breed, which may have more birth weight or less birth weight or what they have, the bull will not contribute to the female's problem. That's the easiest one to explain. The second one is what we call a G plus or a genomics plus. Those are bulls that are balanced genetics, relatively good calving knees, solid growth, and outstanding maternal traits for those folks that are interested in keeping females. Some of the large effect genes for stability are a big part of that. And frankly, if you're going to keep heifers out of the bulls that you purchase, they need to have a G plus in their designation. That means that you can keep heifers out of those bulls. But most folks want a balanced bull because most folks keep females. So G plus bulls do just that. The ATM is the third logo, and that is a pounds and short-term income producing kind of bull. Folks that come in and say, hey, I need big, heavy feeder calves. Maybe I'm not going to keep any daughters of these. Maybe I'll talk about that in a second. But the ATM calves, an ATM bull will add 30 to 50 pounds more weaning weight to calves than a bull without an ATM logo. And we've got pretty good proof of that. They're selected for large effect genes for growth. ATM bulls should not be bred to heifers, ever. And unless it's accompanied by a G+, they are not bulls to keep replacement females out of. But they can be a G+ and an ATM, which nice maternal genes and nice growth, but still no heifers for the ATMs. And that's how we break them up.
So the big question is, and I wrote this down right here, I wrote, quote, we've got pretty good proof of that. There's people that will push back and they will say, well, Marty, how accurate is really that ace bull when it comes to calving ease?
All I'll tell you is that it's more accurate than the EPD alone, and it's far more accurate than just looking at them based on their actual birth weights. Again, since we don't know anything about the heifers that are going to be mated, and actually that may change here in a bit because we're putting together commercial options for doing our right mate program. But when you don't know anything about the heifers that are being mated, you really don't know about the large effect genes that they may or may not be carrying for birth weight. And you just have to make sure that the bull doesn't contribute to their problem. And that's why the ace bulls are the most, we have the most confidence in them of any heifer bulls that you can buy.
And not saying that we shouldn't go in and visually appraise those bulls whatsoever. We still need to look at structure and we still need to pay close attention to those. It's just we're talking about these designations that make it a little easier to put that first sword on them, per se.
I think all that's fair, and I think it's good that you bring up the visual appraisal of the bulls, too, because one of the nicest parts about the logo system is instead of having to sort through 20 categories of information, is that if I'm looking for a heifer bull, I go out and I just simply mark the ace bulls and then find the one I like. The big one or the small one or the red one or the black one and the quiet one or the mean one. Whatever it is that I like physically, sort their feet and their testicles. All the things are important in bulls. But now I have a narrower group to look through and then evaluate the physical traits that I need and that I want for my environment. And that's what makes this simple. Someday, move this forward a little bit, someday when you evaluate the females that you have, you'll find out that some heifers don't need an extreme heifer. But for the ones that do, and that's going to be part of your herd, you've got to, err on the side of caution and get bulls that are, pretty much guaranteed to reduce any problems you might have. Because, again, a live calf and a calf that's born quick so that heifer will rebreed early in the calving season, that's what it's all about.
Thank you so much, Marty. Now, we're going to hear updates from Marty and the Allied crew as we move forward. If you want to find out more of the right choice system of designating bulls, as we call it, the right choice system, the ACE, the ATM, the G+ designations we just talked about, Head to alliedgeneticresources.com. Follow along on Facebook. You can always give us a call, and we'll point you to a breeder in your area and help you any way we can. Now, Kirk patiently waiting in the background with the numbers when we come back. It's the Ranch It Up Radio Show.
Travis Wolf here with Clear Springs Cattle Company. All are invited to the annual Bred for Balance sale on February 10th in Starbuck, Minnesota. We will be offering 200 head of premium Simmental and Sim-Angus genetics, 130 yearling bulls and 70 females. Bulls carry a 3-year breeding soundness warranty, and cost share trucking is available on all cattle. If you are in the market for profitable beef genetics that can move your herd in the right direction, check out bredforbalance.com and be sure to join us on February 10th in Starbuck.
Can I interest you in live calves this winter and spring? How about getting rid of Scours? I've talked about Farmatan from Imogene Ingredients before, and I'm bringing it up now because your cows need to have Farmatan in their system 90 days pre-calving to help eliminate Scours. Farmatan is now on my team of experts, so if you need some more information or have questions, just get a hold of me. You can head online to farmatanusa.com. You can look up Farmatan on Facebook and Imogene Ingredients, or call 515-745-1639. What is better than one? Three powerful outfits coming together for one need-to-attend production sale. Flitty Simmentals, Schnabel Ranch Simmentals, and the Lazy J-Bar Ranch. Black and Red, Simmental, Sim-Angus, and Red Angus. Saturday, February 18th at Hub City Livestock in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Catalogs and videos online at DV Auction. For more information, head to Facebook at Schnabel Ranch Simmentals or online at srsims.com. Welcome back, everyone, to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. It's that time, checking in with Kirk Donsbach, Stone X Financial Incorporated. Kirk, the numbers, let's go through them, buddy.
All right, we'll jump right into it, Tigger. As of Friday, January 27th, March feeders closed the week at 183.57.5. That's up $2.65 on the week, with the CME feeder index at 179.57, up $2.54 on the week. That leaves our basis at a negative $4 versus the March futures. Listeners will notice I've rolled to March futures on that. February live closed the week at 156.85, down 15 cents on the week, with cash at 153 in the north on muddy cattle with lots of tag, and then a very late trade Friday night at 156 in the south. That leaves our 5-area weighted average, and I will note that the late trade would not be in this, of 153.84, down $1.23 on the week. Our basis is a negative $3.01, and again, that's explained with all the tag on the cattle in the north. The weekly slaughter was 659,000. That's up 13,000 week over week and 4,000 over this week last year. Choice boxes closed the week by printing 267.76, down $3.96 on the week, with a spread now widening back out to $17.22. I think it's important to recognize that with the lower boxes, we got the spread widening back out, and we also had export sales jump up to 25,135 metric ton this week. So the buyers kind of responded to the slightly lower box prices. In conclusion, March corn closed the week at $6.83.5, up 6.5 cents on the week.
Don't forget, those of you wanting additional information can subscribe to Kirk's free email by texting the word cattle, CATTLE, to 33777.
Mark Van Zee with LivestockMarket.com. Coming up this Wednesday, February 8th, we're having our monthly sheep, goat, and pig online auction. Bidding opens at just $10 a head, no reserve, all lots will sell. Selling 105 head of sheep, as well as various goat and pig lots. Featured lots include 65 Dorper Katahdin bred ewes, bred to an Australian white ram. They'll produce F1 Australian white lambs. They're 2 to 3 years old, all home raised. They'll start lambing May 3rd for 30 days. They had a 183% lamb crop last year from Bar Quarter Circle Livestock in Payette, Idaho. 20 Dorper ewe lambs born fall of 2022. They're all open. They make great replacements. They weigh 70 pounds from Defade Livestock in Snyder, Texas. Also 7 Dorper ewe lambs born spring of 2022. They average 80 pounds from Defade Livestock in Snyder, Texas. The sale also features 360 bales of hay. It's all large squares and large rounds. It's all being sold in semi-truckload lots. Bidding opens at just $10 a head on the sheep, goat, and pigs, $5 a bale on the hay. You got sheep to sell? Regular online sheep auctions are the second Wednesday of every month on livestockmarket.com and auctiontime.com.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
And before we say fairly well, a big tip of the hat is going to go to all of those printers out there that are printing those bull sale catalogs we've been talking a whole lot about. They're going 24/7 on the printing presses to make sure that we're getting them in time. I appreciate you. And now that is going to wrap it up for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours, starting us out, Tom Schnabel and Curtis Evlow for giving us an update on how Farmatan has been working for their outfits, Marty Ropp with Allied Genetic Resources, Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, and Mark Vanzi with LivestockMarket.com. A big thank you to our partners, the Green Acres Foundation, Wassum Red Angus, the Bred for Balance sale from Clear Springs Cattle Company, Schnabel Ranch Simmentals, Keller's Broken Heart Ranch, Farmatan and Imogene Ingredients, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange, and the Fence Post, Westway Feed Products, Allied Genetic Resources, Livestock Market, Equine Market, and AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, the Cowboy Channel, and Wrangler. And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show, and like and follow our partners and our sponsors as well, because they too have weekly and sometimes daily updates on all of their social media. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Call and text me 24/7 at 707-726-2420. That's 707-726-2420. It's 707 Ranch 20. Spread the good word and join us again next week where it's always Tigger approved. Stay ranchy and ranch it up.